This is CMCE cylinder test. The purpose of this test is to take samples of the concrete which are used to test the strength of the concrete. The equipment for this test is as follows. We are using a plastic cylinder mold that is 4 inches in diameter and 8 inches in length, a tamping rod that is 3/16 inches in diameter and 16 inches in length, which comes to a rounded hemispherical tip, a hand scoop, a trowel, and all of which must be dampened if it is going to touch the concrete. We start by filling the cylinder to half of its volume. Once it's filled, we rod 25 times. Then we tap the sides of the mold with an open palm 10 to 15 times. And then fill again, overfilling. If you use a metal mold, then you use a mallet with the tapping. Rod again 25 times and repeat the tapping of the sides. If you use a bigger cylinder, 6 inches in diameter by 12 inches in length, then we would fill it with 3 equal volumes. Strike off with the rod or trowel. To make sure it is a smooth surface on the top. Then cover to protect from elements, which include the sun, wind, anything else, and rapid evaporation. Mark with information necessary to understand at a later date, and finally move to a place of storage. This is test ASTM C173, air content by volumetric method. The purpose of this test is to determine the air content of concrete. We have our equipment, which is a measuring bowl, a top section with a graduated neck, a funnel, a tamping rod with a 5/16 diameter inch and 12 inches in length, a watertight cap, isopropyl alcohol, a hand scoop, and a strike-off bar, syringe, and a calibrated cup if necessary. First, we begin by dampening everything that comes in contact with the concrete. We fill the measuring bowl in 2 equal parts volume. We then rod after filling it halfway 25 times. Once the rodding is complete, we use a mallet to strike the measuring bowl 10 to 15 times. For the second layer, we overfill. And once again, rod 25 times. And tap the sides of the bowl 10 to 15 times once again. Strike off the top of the concrete with the strike-off bar in a zigzag motion. Then do a couple side strikes. And clean the top to make sure there is no concrete left around the rim. Once the rim is clean, place the top section onto the measuring bowl. And have the funnel setting in the graduated neck. Then begin adding some water, at least 0.5 liters of water. Once that water is added, then add isopropyl alcohol and record the amount of alcohol added. Then continue adding water until you get to a layer in the graduated cylinder. Then remove the funnel and carefully apply water with a rubber syringe until you get to the 0 mark on the top of the graduated cylinder. Once the water is at the correct mark, take a watertight cap, and seal the graduated neck. Once it is sealed, take to the device and invert it and shake it for 5 seconds at a time, inverted, and then put it back to its original position for around 45 seconds, and repeat this process. Once the shaking is complete, place it on the ground at a 45-degree angle and vigorously roll it from a quarter to a half turn several times and give it a third turn, repeating this process for 1 minute. Once that's complete, place it level and loosen the cap and let the liquid stabilize. Make sure the foam is within 2% or less. Once the liquid stabilizes, read the meter to the nearest quarter. the water goes below the 9% range, add calibrated cups to the water and record that number. The liquid is stable if it does not change point by 0.25% within a 2-minute period. Retighten the cap and proceed to do the rolling once again. Once the rolling is finished, reloosen the cap and let the water level stabilize for 2 to 6 minutes. Then reread the reading, which will be the final reading, unless it is more than 0.25%. If it is more than 0.25%, then take this as the initial reading and re-shake the apparatus. If it is within 0.25%, take the final reading minus the alcohol correction factor plus the number of calibrated cups added, and that will become your air content. To finish, place the apparatus somewhere off to the side and lift one side of the top section slowly so that the water all comes out. Then take the measuring bowl with all the concrete, remove any excess water, and flip it upside down so that the concrete all falls out. Make sure there is no concrete sticking to the bottom of the bowl. If there is material present, then the test is invalid. Oh, there it goes. And just show it. Perfect. And I believe that's it, right?